Kendall. I'm the Miami Autism Dad Victor Antunez, inclusive my realtor, and this is the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Newspapers. Today I'm with Arlene Peterson. She's Executive Director of the WOW Center. If we just said it and I forget it, it's an adult
day training center.
Yeah, and you're in Kendall. Great location. It's been there for a really long time.
53 years.
Wow. Yeah, so exactly. Back then you had like Panthers and stuff coming through.
Wow. We're going to see how many times we say wow in the conversation today.
Wow. Well, it's funny. My father, when he came from Cuba, he was at the...
the Pedro Pan Center?
Yeah.
It was a Pedro Pan Center.
But there's another one out by Miami Airport.
Yeah.
Called something else.
Boys Town.
Yeah. And he says that every now and then, everybody had to go inside the buildings because there was a Florida Panther walking through the property. So like when you guys 50 years ago, like it might have been kind of the same, black bears and stuff, you know?
Well, even before that whole area was the high ground for the Seminole Indian tribe.
Right, yes.
And they would fish from there. This was the Everglades all the way into this area. And we're not that far west. This is right by, Baptist Hospital.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty cool history there.
And the buildings, they've got that old Florida look about them, although you guys are going to open up a new center.
We are.
In March, you said?
So we're actually going to receive the building. It's almost complete in August. And we will begin working on the electronics and the furniture throughout the fall from, September through December. And we hope to open the doors to the program expansion in January. So by March, we'll be ready for a ribbon cutting. We're going to do kind of soft opening. It's so important to make sure our processes and our procedures are well practiced and thought out, just to make sure that the change for the individuals is important, making sure that it's a good transition.
Now, these adults that are at your center, do you call them clients, students? What do you call them?
Individuals.
Just individuals.
Yeah, because they're adults and they have choices. And, a lot of people tend to call adults with developmental disabilities kids, the kids like in the school. So we are all kids with more birthdays. That's my motto.
We're somebody's kids.
We're somebody's kids, but we try to distinguish it very, very specifically that they are individuals, they are adults, and they have choices.
I'm guilty too, just because my daughter, she's 9, so she's still a kid, obviously. But when but all these individuals, they're somebody's kids. And you're right. I'm guilty of that too. But you're right. Once you turn 18, you're an adult.
Yeah.
With, all the responsibilities.
I still call my kids and they're all adults. But yeah.
So it has nothing to do with neurodivergence or disabilities. It's a parent thing. That's how we talk about our kids.
Yeah.
So how many individuals do you have there now? And how many will you have once you expand?
So right now we serve 200 individuals. And when we expand, we're doubling. So we're going to be serving 200 more.
Wow.
It is a wow. See? Let's see how many times.
Yeah.
Should have a counter up.
So the WOW is public funded, private funded?
It's a mix. So it is an organization where individuals can come with Medicaid waiver support, and that actually makes up about 49% of our budget. It is not what covers the above and beyond that we do. So a lot of private funding comes into play. So we will have support from grants, foundations, individual donors, and our fundraising events.
So you guys were founded in 1972?
Yep.
By parents who 6 parents, so their kids aged out of the system, and then it was like, you're on your own?
Right. Where are they going to go? They in 1972, think of what options might have been available.
Even before 18, there wasn't that much.
And institutional settings were becoming extinct, so we were saying this isn't the right way, thank goodness, right? But then the options weren't really there. So it was graduate to the couch at home. And so many of these parents were like, no, there's more, there's more. And so or there can be more. And so they decided to come together, and we were able to secure the land with the county partnership from 114th Avenue to 117th Avenue. And there's a natural forest community in the middle of that. So that will be the 2 campuses. At that time, they said, what can we do with all of this and get going? So they created a landscape nursery. And then that's where the individuals were able to plant seeds, grow them, And in Miami at that time, there wasn't all that much big business,
It was still Cowtown.
And it was that whole area of Kendall where strawberry fields, flower fields, tomato fields, so it made sense. So they used the land. Then on the corner of 117th is where they would sell it to the community. The like you would go to Home Depot and buy plants. You could come to Community Habilitation Center Nursery. That was the name at the time, and buy your landscaping plants. And so then about 15 years ago, there was a marketing company, advertising company, Republica, that came in and did a study on whether this should remain our name. And so we became...
What was the name again?
Community Habilitation Center.
That's a mouthful.
Right.
It's not very
So it became the WOW Center, because when they came through and they saw, how much has evolved, we went from a landscape nursery to a day program that is vibrant with art, music, sports, life skills, workforce program, community-based education, field trips. They were just, the way that you feel when you're there was wow. Everything that was being done was wow. The history was wow. So they're like, it's wow.
It's wow.
Exactly.
Yeah. So your individuals, they're all adults. There's nobody 17.
No, 21.
Oh, 21.
Is the youngest, because you can graduate from
high school
up to 21 years old. So we want to
22?
21.
Because I was like,
it can be 22 maybe, but it's generally 21, and then they can come after that. They've received their certificate and their degree, and then begin the adult program.
So when these adults come to you, how do they find you, first of all?
A variety of ways. Word of mouth, the people talking, maybe doctors, community members, maybe neighbors, friends.
The school system, maybe. The
school system sometimes, I think we could do more there. I know they have transition specialists, and some are very aware of us and can help, create that transition plan. We're getting there. I think that WOW really wasn't that well known. And I've been in the community for my whole life, worked in nonprofit, lived down the road from where the WOW Center was, and I didn't even know it existed. So I think we're coming a long way now. The WOW Center is much more well known, and when that building comes up, that's a game changer. It's on the corner of a very well trafficked.
Yeah, because now you're kind of hidden away.
Exactly, it's hidden in the park.
Are you gonna have signage?
Yeah,
right on 107th.
You're gonna see our WOW icon, the hearts, right on 117th. So awesome. I know the second that building opens, I think that's going to be its own microphone.
Okay.
Megaphone.
And billboard.
Yeah, exactly. Billboard. So word of mouth, and we want, through this podcast, more people to know. We are enrolling, and we're going through the admissions process right now. And there are a few steps to it. So we want anyone who's interested in the program. We serve individuals that are mild to moderate. We serve individuals that we can serve them in a 1-to-5 ratio. So those are our individuals that are more advanced in age or have limited mobility and need 1-to-5 support, not 1-to-1.
So you don't do 1-to-1. Just don't have this.
There are
facilities,
and there are other programs, that support that, like Sunrise and others. We will also serve 1-to-10. So it's a program that individuals that can be a part of the community. They may want to even work, so they might be identified from there. Or can come from the outside to be a part of our workforce program, which is really geared towards developing the skills probably over a year, and then be ready to be placed in a work location if they can accomplish these different objectives and be prepared for the workforce.
So, okay. So you say a year. That's a long time, but it might not be enough for some people.
Exactly.
If somebody needs a year and a half,
they will
2 years.
We want to make sure that the objectives and the goals that were set out for their plan are met. And it's whatever it takes. They might take a couple of times. It might take a little longer. But we want to be there for that. As long as they're committed and they want to, and they put in the work. You
gotta work.
Exactly.
Now, what job tracks are you training for?
So right now we're developing the skills. So it could be any kind of exactly.
Okay. What kind of skills?
That's a shift that we've been, over the years. It's been easier to place individuals in like restaurant settings, hospitality. We have some individuals in offices, different commissioners' offices, stores, ice cream shops. But we are seeing that we want to do a little more intentional work with the individuals before placing them at the job site. We will, throughout that training time period, provide opportunities for internships, job shadowing days, different opportunities of that nature, little more short bursts for practice and exposure and just gauging the match. And so that can look like, we're developing relationships with Baptist Hospital, with different, it might be a PR firm, it might be a podcast studio. Like, we really want to branch out and see, but get to know the skills and develop them first, then find the right match after that.
All right. Now you have 200 individuals now. It's going to go to 400 people. But in a county with 3 million people, that's a drop in the bucket. Right. So do you guys have, if somebody brings you their adult individual now, do you have the capacity, or are you turning people away?
We do have capacity right now for a handful more before we begin in the new program. So we do, because in a year there might be about 15 individuals that leave because they've advanced in age, they have different needs. So we always have some sort of spots when we may have to have a hold, because we just recently expanded our current campus too. So we have room for an additional 20. And also, if there's fluctuation in staffing, we might have to hold because we want to make sure we have the right staff support. So that happened last year. But right now we're good. We have room. We would like to see more individuals come and apply for the program and get ready for the next year.
That's great. Yeah. Now, your success rate, are there people that just never graduate? Are we for a longer time?
Yeah, it's not a graduation program. This is basically a program that individuals can come to. Unless you're in the workforce, part of it where you're training and getting to a specific goal. But our goal is that we provide meaningful day and opportunities and resources. So we have an individual there that cut the ribbon in 1972, and he's still with us. We have people with us for 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades, because this is their daily place. This is for individuals that aren't going to go to work. They're not going to go to the university. This is their daily place. This is beautiful. Their site to be seen, to contribute, to have friendships, to have experiences, to keep learning, to keep the mind, stimulated and experiencing different things. This is where they come.
I just saw a documentary of Harry Horgan from Shake a Leg, and they had people there also that it's their place.
Yeah, this is their place. They
just go there all the time, and they've got certain disabilities, and Shake a Leg is their place. So WOW is their place.
We have parents that have that were young at the time, and they may have seen their young adult, into the program, but they've aged and they were getting ready to pass, and they would ask our staff members, will you please make sure that they are taken care of while I'm gone, when I'm gone. And that promise still holds true. We still have those individuals with us, and we watch them and take care of them at the promise of their family. This is very important, for parents to know that there are many that fear, bringing their individual to a program. They think it's better, at home,
where they're
safer. I'm going to care for them better. And that's true. Nobody's going to care for your child better than a parent, but there needs to be some additional support, because we never know what's going to happen. And then knowing ahead of time and being a part of that process before you're gone is a very important step to take. And I encourage many parents to do that, even visiting, so that the siblings, have an understanding of what the next steps might be. We've seen that so many times.
But you guys don't, so the parents pass, you guys take care of their adult children. But you're not doing housing.
No.
So where are they going?
So they may be in a group home. They may go live with a relative. We have siblings that have taken the full-time care of their brother or sister or even uncle or aunt. But there are many great group homes in the community who are they're available for that. They may just have 5 or 6 individuals in a home. They might have multiple homes, and they become the primary caregiver or support for that individual. Even if parents haven't passed, they use that as their independent living. They're like, I'm going to move out. I'm going to have my, independent life. And then parents may see them on the weekends like an adult would.
Yeah. Super nice. Now, for parents who've got kids who are not 18 yet, like at what age do you tell parents, or would you tell a parent, do you start training your kid?
Already. I mean, there's so many supports that they don't realize they can have access to.
Like what?
Like Medicaid waiver. They may not even have applied yet. And they
APD?
come to us. Yeah. They come to us maybe 19, 20, or even ready to come into the program, and they never went through the process. So we start to help them navigate that, and it can take some time.
Okay.
We also encourage families to work through the Mailman Center. They have family navigators that will help them with the application process. But as early as possible, there's a waiting list. There's been a waiting list for years.
Always going to be a waiting list.
So they're getting better at it, but I think it's important for families to get all of their resources lined up. Even if their child is 6 or 7, start learning, start understanding. And I know there's a lot, because you've got the doctor's appointments and I call it a hustle. You're always navigating the hustle. But find out those resources for their adult steps, because some of those things take a little longer to get in place. And, even a parent, I've raised 6 kids, and 3 of them, have special needs, and we've had to navigate how to prepare them for adulthood. And they're, independent, but once you get to 18, that's it. The parents don't have any more recourse. They have to take care of it themselves. So you got to start young, no matter what.
Or 21 though, because you get a few more years, right?
No, parents with children with disabilities, you have a little bit more, and you have a lot more access to guardianship and legal supports that you can have. But all parents need to be preparing for when their children transition into adulthood, because the things change a bit.
And you mentioned the Mailman Center, free, yes?
Yes.
Why them and like not card or parent?
So they're collaborating with all programs. The Mailman Center has become like a resource hub, and to become family navigators. So they work with card, they work with all of the programs to be able to kind of understand what the need of the family is, and then say, okay, this is a great resource. Let's get you the phone number. Let's get a phone call for you. Let's get you an appointment, and they help navigate that. And that's a wonderful program through. It's housed at UM, but it's funded through different organizations, so nonprofit and some government support.
Yeah. And Miami-Dade County, we're blessed with a ton of services. Yeah. And but parents don't know about them. I was talking to this one lady. She's an autism grandma, and I met her last year. And I mentioned CARD and never heard of it. And so she's in her mid-60s. She's from Miami and has an autistic grandchild. Had never heard of CARD. And I was like, how is that possible? But it's possible.
Yeah. When you're in the focus of whatever it is, it's hard to see the other parts. But so I'm glad to share that. And we did a panel in April with, I guess, Community Newspaper or Chamber South was hosting it. And there was somebody who had asked that. They're like, if you don't have the Med waiver, how do we get the support? How do we understand how to do it? And that's one of the resources that I gave them. They're happy to take the call and get that support. We had our social workers trained as family navigators through that program as well.
Okay, I know what that is, but explain what that is for people who are listening.
Almost like I would say a family concierge. You call like a hotline, a helpline, and they will be able to, even if you've got a young child, you might say, I just got a diagnosis. I'm not sure where to start. And they can begin helping you with that. You might have changed services, or you're trying to find a school, or you're trying to find transportation. They're meant to have the clearinghouse of all of the information that is needed and the access points to how to get through. So, whatever the phone numbers are, and they may be able to call. They're putting together a comprehensive resource guide as well.
Who's they?
The Mailman Center. Okay. So if I believe if you go to the website, there would be a resource guide there as well.
Oh,
so you can kind of navigate yourself. But if you need somebody to navigate with you, that's what their role is.
Now, these family navigators, are these volunteers, or are these like, is it like a job?
It's a job. It's a job, yeah. And they go through training. Like I said, we went through the training ourselves so that we are understanding how to link up with them. So we kind of become satellite partners to that, to the ones that individuals we serve, or if somebody's coming through our process, we understand now how many links and opportunities there are out there to point people in the right direction.
And the training for the family navigator, is that done through Mailman, or is that like a government thing, like an RBT or something?
Through Mailman.
Through Mailman.
They developed the training.
That's amazing.
It's cool because it was part of our strategic plan at the WOW Center we even changed our mission statement to say that we serve adults with developmental disabilities with opportunities and resources, and the communities that support them. Because we wanted to be able to
so important.
Bring in how are we supporting the family? How are we supporting the workplace? How are we supporting the community? And we were like, maybe we can create a family navigator kind of a role. We were going to create this whole pathway.
It's already done.
And then one of our donors, the Taft Foundation, said, wait, that's brilliant, but we're funding it somewhere else. So let's get you guys together. And that's how that happened. We're like, my gosh, that's the idea. We don't need to reinvent the wheel.
No, because all money,
we just need to
time,
keep talking and collaborating and connect the dots. And that was an incredible resource. So we can have the same idea, but never know it.
Yeah. Well, that reminds me of Raquel Regalado, because she came up with the Neuro Inclusion Toolkit, which shows municipalities how to do what we're doing here and without having to reinvent the wheel. Like you can plug in the card, you can plug in the parent, you can plug into the mailman center, because it's time and money.
Exactly.
And there's only so much bandwidth.
Time and money. That's right.
Yeah. So, and I want to go back to Chamber South, because I forget his last name, but Rick, who's the president.
Alberti.
Alberti, yeah. Great guy. And Chamber South, they've been like champions.
Yeah.
Because they're super involved. Like April Autism Awareness Month, they sponsored a thing over at
that was
Casa
the panel.
Cuba.
Yeah, that's the panel that we were on.
And then Rick called me out of the blue and invited me, because when I first saw the flyer, it was all women. I thought, well, it's a women's event.
Oh my
So I wasn't going to go because all I saw was women.
Oh, right. That's right. I was one of the pictures on there. It's true.
And then Rick, he's like, hey, you want to come? I was like, yeah, but I thought it was all women.
What about the dad?
But like you see all women on the panel, you think it's a women's thing.
Oh, that's true.
So I almost didn't go.
You got to be on the panel next time.
Yeah.
I will tell Rick.
I'll be the one guy. So then Rick, he reached out of the blue. I was like, yeah, okay.
Awesome.
I'll come. But I just thought it was all women,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's funny how you fill in the blanks,
Yeah.
You assume stuff. Now, it seems that, and maybe I'm wrong, but that we put the most emphasis on these individuals before they turn 18. And then it seems like we at least if we don't turn the faucet off, we really, really tamp it down. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. There is this thing where we want to support children.
Yeah.
That's just or
seniors.
We think they're the most vulnerable.
Because they are.
Right. We want to continue to support children. And so then we kind of forget that there's this whole other vulnerable journey that continues to happen with adults with developmental disabilities. So, and I would say it's, we've got a long way to go in how many services and programs like ours, exist, but they are out there. Not enough to serve the need yet, but they are out there. And I think our community is doing a fantastic job, to your point, how the Chamber South is a part of it. The county's been a part of it. I think we're doing a good job of keeping the conversation going, keeping the connections going, lifting this up into this has just got to be a regular
mainstream.
Part. Yeah. And I see it happening. I see the trainings happening. There's so many major corporations that have been reaching out to us recently.
Really?
Like, hey, we want to partner with you to educate our workplace more on, how to work alongside people with disabilities. It's just becoming more and more common and desirable to be curious. At least we're at the stage of curious.
Okay. So like, I'm curious. So a big corporation calls you, and they want you to train their, I guess, like consulting.
Yeah,
Do you go into the workplace?
Well, we're working through that. We're working through that. They want to create a video that will, because this is a global, international company.
Can we say a name or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because I don't have their permission.
Okay.
But I can say that they're all over the world, and they want to make this a part of their onboarding. Like a main
I could probably guess, but I won't. But
I don't know. You can guess maybe. But it's a very cool opportunity. They're not even sure, but they're like, can we talk through it? They'll do something. Yeah. Can we talk through it? Can we do something? And they want to be able to really roll this out, and they're really dedicated to it. These two leaders within the organization. So we're coming together to make it happen.
I had this a business reach out to me, and they asked me, how do we make our place a certified autism center? I was like, is that even a ththing? I don't know, but people are asking about this.
No, it's becoming more and more desirable, curious, and along those lines, there are so many ways that it's making us think through things differently as well. Like the types of jobs that individuals can have.
Well, I like what you said earlier about you're not training for a job, you're training skills, because skills can go anywhere.
Exactly. Skills and seeing beyond the basics. Like, okay, so we know that the skills or the types of jobs can be maybe repetitive, and they might be enjoyable because they're repetitive, and those are jobs that others may not, find desirable. But there are also creative jobs that we're living in a community that is very digital focused. There, a lot of creative opportunities are existing. How is AI playing a role? So we've been rolling out a digital literacy program to start with basics, making sure they are navigating safely. I mean, phishing scams. How are you creating an email address that is not giving away the world? Yeah. Like this layer of training is first. And when we move into our new building, we're going to have an innovation and media lab, and that's going to continue with the digital literacy. But how can they take the skills they're learning and be creative? Like we're going to have a podcast studio. We're going to have a news desk. We're going to create news content, because if you think about it, if you were saying before, there's a different kind of language, when you're neurodivergent. Well, how does that then how is news being carried out to them? If they are able to tell us how the information should be shared, and they can create it and learn how to create it, then now we're really becoming more mainstream and connected, because they're understanding the world that we're all hearing about, but maybe they're hearing it in a completely different way.
I've spoken to the Moreno Foundation, the Dan Moreno Foundation, and they want to do a podcast also in different groups. And I've always wondered, what could the podcast be about? Because it's just good practice, but you want to have a reach and make an impact. And I just thought about maybe you have where somebody who's a little bit higher functioning interviews people who are looking for jobs. Right. What kind of jobs they're looking for, what they're skilled in, and that might become a thing. Right. So we're going to partner together. Yeah, we will, because I would love to help you with that. Absolutely. And that's such an exciting component. We have a big donor that believed in the pitch, and they are funding it. And so we're excited. We're excited to see that roll out next amazing. Year. Yeah. Right. Well, are you Hispanic? Yes. Because I keep saying it's like Spanish stuff to you. I'm not sure, because of Peterson, like an early... Well, that's my husband. Kendall from Kendall Peterson. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So I got the 2-minute warning just a few minutes ago. I have last few questions I want to ask you. Let me turn to that. Okay, Miss Peterson. So in your questionnaire that you filled out, you told me about a young man who came in quiet, unsure of himself, and you watched him come alive. When you picture him now, what did WOW give him that nothing else could? It gave him a community that he belonged in, that he felt like he could have relationships, that he could be himself. He has a girlfriend, he has friends. He's, I think was able to finally feel like himself. And that's something that is for our individuals, but I even say that to our employees, in a work environment. We all want to be ourselves.
When we can feel like we can be ourselves and we are accepted, then our best comes to life. Our gifts, our talents, our natural personalities are able to flourish. So I think that's true for anyone at the WOW Center, whether it's a visitor, a volunteer, our individuals, our staff. It's what makes the place so wow.
That's awesome.
To be yourself.
That reminds me of Best Buddies because they have like a social aspect, like a club. Do you guys do that? Like on maybe once a week or whatever, we get together?
So what we have is actually our service club. It's a community service club. So they basically come up with different nonprofits that they can support and collaborate on how they're going to support it. They might do a collection. They might do a service project. They might go to the site. So we have a service club.
That's awesome.
At the WOW Center because they are adults who want to contribute and be a part of the community.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this individual who we're talking about before, who came to life, loves the service club, and it's also a way for if you're not going to be in the workplace, you're not going to go, for the paycheck, you're not going to go for the day-to-day. They still want to contribute. They still want to feel like they're making an impact and a difference.
Everybody wants that. Yeah.
It's such a natural
human thing. Yeah. Okay. Next question is, parents tell you, I don't know what we do without WOW. When a family walks through the doors for the first time, what do they feel by the time they leave?
Hope.
Hope. Yeah.
They feel like there's hope. They feel like there's possibility. There's something else that they never thought was possible.
Yeah. And a lot of times, parents, we suffer from hopium. Where there's nothing there, but with WOW, there is something there. So you're not just hopeful. There's actually
there's there
something there for
within the reach.
For your adult kids.
Exactly, for your kids.
I'm always going to suffer with that one.
Sure. I get it.
Okay. All right, last question. When the rest of Miami meets your individuals out in the world, on a job, on a stage, in the community, what changes in the people who finally see them?
Well, the first of all, the fear, if they see them enough, then the fear of like, I don't know what to do. What do I say? How do I do this? That's why we go out enough. When that barrier comes down, then, like I said before, they're able to be themselves. Because being with someone with a developmental disability truly breaks down our own human barriers of who you have to be, how you have to be. They don't care about that. They just want to connect. And what we do see is people just feeling comfortable being themselves, because I think that's what the gift of the world of disabilities gives us as humans overall is we can be anything. We can show up, and you're the most incredible person in the world.
Well, okay. So speaking of showing up, you have your individuals are doing community days. Can people come and like neurotypical people come and volunteer alongside of them? Is that a thing you guys are doing?
So we have done that in ways like we'll go to Telemundo every year and they volunteer together. So our individuals go to the Telemundo studios and
that must be a lot of fun.
It's super fun. And they may pack toiletry kits for the homeless or for children in foster care or whatever, but they do that together. So yes, we welcome that. Absolutely. We may come to the workplace together. We could go serve somewhere together. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. I know of this one service organization that they're got a WhatsApp group here in Miami. I'm going to put you in touch with them because that would be a great opportunity for you guys to awesome. cross-pollinate there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we would love that.
Cool.
I know they get together on Fridays to do their service club work, but we could certainly put that as part of our community-based collaboration as well.
But I'm making a list here of things to do because I'm going to forget if I don't take notes. But yeah, it's been a really good conversation. I think that we can do some good stuff together.
Awesome. Thank you.
Arlene, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's been like a year in the making.
I know.
We finally made it happen. Yeah, it's a lot of fun having you here. I know you've been here before. The Millers know you. Everybody loves you. Loves what the WOW Center is doing, what you stand for, and the hope that you give the parents.
And likewise, you're doing great work here, and I'm glad that you started all with the hat.
I feel super blessed. The show came organically. I wasn't looking for it, and it just happened. And then I feel like, because over this year I've been podcasting, I've met a lot of groups like WOW or Parent to Parent or Advocacy Network or even CARD. They were parent founded. And it's like, parents, we find our place.
Amazing.
And we make it happen.
Oh, I know.
And this You know what amazes me a lot is that when I meet people who have no disabled kids and they're still doing the work. Because I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my daughter, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Right.
And then I meet parents that they don't have any disabled kids and they just felt called, like Dr. Michael Alessandri.
Yeah.
It's like, that's amazing.
It is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Yeah. Okay. Well, Arlene, thank you so much. And we'll turn to the camera and we'll sign off. So this has been the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Newspapers with Arlene Peterson of the WOW Center. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye.